Hello everybody and welcome to NBL Overtime and an NBL off-season that had some controversial changes, starting with Casper Ware heading to the Sydney Kings. We had a World Cup thrown in there as well, a huge summer league where the Australians continue to be looked upon by the NBA. And now it leaves us with 48 hours before NBL 20. The throwdown is only 2 sleeps away, yet the surprises keep coming with a superstar reportedly to set and rejoin a team where he won the most valuable player. I'm Cameron Luke. Get involved anytime you like. Hashtag NBL20, hashtag NBL Overtime. I'm joined by the man who just works out just to look good naked. My man, former MVP, Corey Homicide Williams. You psyched?
I am super excited just at the mere fact that, well, I'm not even going to say it's a fact. Just for the tweet that came out by Hogan, my man is coming back.
If we find out, we'll get to that in a moment.
We don't know if it's true, but if it is true, this season is going somewhere different. Because he's coming back for blood.
If we find out that he slid into your DMs and let you know prior to it being reported, we're going to be a little bit upset. We'll get to that in a moment. Firstly, Liam, hello to you.
Hello. I mean, what an off-season. We're 48 hours away, like you say, from the throwdown. It started and with a bang, with all the breaking news and... Even now, on the eve of the season, this thing just will not stop. And amongst all of this, we've got NBL teams going over to play against NBA teams, and somehow that just gets kind of lost in the mix because there's just so much to be excited about.
Not just NBL teams that are going overseas as well. One of this trio is leaving the rest of us behind, but we'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. But it is being reported by Fox Sports and Olgun Uluc, as you just touched on, in the last couple of hours is reporting that Jerome Randle, the MVP 2017, of course, 2-time All-NBL first team, All-NBL second team a couple of times. And last year, averaged a shade under 19 points for the Sydney Kings. He's going to replace Deshaun Taylor at the Adelaide 36ers. I'll start with you, Liam. When we look at what that team will look like differently and what it'll mean for the 36ers, if in fact it is true, which we are believing that it is, what does it mean?
It's a game changer. It's a game changer for the 36ers. This is a guy, as you say, former MVP, 2-time All-NBL first team, 2-time second team, scoring champ. I mean, he is a star, superstar in this league. And it's a bit sad for Deshaun Taylor. I was excited to see what he was going to become and how he was going to grow over the course of this season. But they had 6,000 people turn up at their preseason game at their new arena the other night. And you can see the 36ers fans are up and about that move, that stadium, what this season could potentially be. But the one thing that they were missing on that roster was a guy that could just flat out score the rock. And they need that coming in. You know, you look around the league, other teams have that in spades. And nobody really does that better than Randle. So I think it's a game changer.
We watched them a couple of times at the Blitz. Eric Griffin's not essentially a huge offensive fire weapon, although we know that defensively he's great. Ramon Moore has only averaged maybe 10.5 over his NBL career. He can score, but he's not necessarily a hardcore scorer. And Deshaun Taylor and Pat Beverly 2.0, which is how he was dubbed, is more a defensive unit. There's no doubt they needed it. I don't think anyone, although I'm going to ask you, did he slide into your DMs and tell you he was on the way back? Because I don't think anyone forecasted this, although it's great for the league and for the team.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But that was the right move for Joey Wright. We all know this ain't a cupcake league. Your point guard got to be legit. Is he a good player? I don't know. He's a rookie. So you cannot have a rookie point guard lead your team to W's and into the finals in the NBL. Not going to happen. Ooh. Go on and get... Okay, let's talk about it.
Well, you got 2 high school kids that are running the point, and you're going nuts about both of them.
First of all, Illawarra is not making finals.
Okay.
Did I say that?
No. Breakers are a Tier 1 team.
Why is that? Because
team.
of everybody else around R.J. Hampton. Don't get it twisted.
Well, hang on, but you just said...
Let's be real. Let's be real.
A rookie point guard can't make the playoffs?
Let's be real. Was Adelaide impressive in the offseason? As far as preseason games, no, they weren't. No. Let's keep it real here. That's what we do. We keep it what? We keep it 100. They did not look good.
I agree.
Get that rookie point guard out of there. Yeah. Go get you a vet who's battle-tested, battle-proven. Enter Jerome Randle. Now they got a chance just off the fact he's on the roster. They will go as he go. Let's keep it real here.
I just want to put on the table. I'm not at all disagreering with you. I'm just saying that you got New Zealand as a Tier 1 team in the playoffs with
of the savvy veterans that are with him. He got dogs with him. If it's up to RJ alone, they won't make playoffs. He never played a pro league. He never played a season. pro. How can he lead a team and he never been there before? Surround him with those pieces. Take the pressure off of him. Those pieces are not there for Adelaide to be led by a rookie point guard. It's not.
We sing the praises of Joey Wright on this show and on this desk a lot, and rightfully so. He is a legend of this league, and we love what he does with his team on the court and his strategies, the way he goes about it. But we also love the way he puts teams together. And we've seen it before. He will not sit on his hands. He goes about getting the right guys in the right moments. A few years ago, Keon McNeil got a little hurt in the preseason. He didn't wait around. Randle, he's in. Then they had, a couple of. They had Roberts, who played in the FIBA World Cup for the Dominican Republic recently. He wasn't working out. You know what? You're gone. The NBL is a short. It's a 28-game season. It's a 6-month season. It's not a marathon. This thing is a sprint. You need to come out of the gates fast. Last couple of years, from about round 7 onwards, the top 4 has hardly changed. Joey knows this. You got to start right. Can't wait on this guy to come good or to work his way into being a pro. You got an opportunity to bring in Randle. Amazingly, he was still on the market. They were waiting. My understanding is there was checking out what was going to arrive from Europe at the right level. And by the sounds of things, what Olgun's reported, Joey has snapped him up.
Ironically, the last team to start a little slowly and end up making some real noise was the 36ers. That was led by Jerome Randle in that MVP year. They started slowly. They blew that big fracas with the Bullets. Brisbane smacked them in Adelaide. Then they went to Brisbane, smacked them back, and all of a sudden things got going on the back of Jerome Randle. It has been further reported because, of course, Adelaide have left the Australian shores to take on the Utah Jazz this weekend in the opening NBL v NBA games.
Not all of them.
Hey?
Harry Froling isn't left yet.
Oh, also, Harry Froling agreed.
You on a flight with him? You guys go together?
We might be on the flight tomorrow.
Either way, it is being further reported by Olgun that both Deshaun Taylor and Jerome Randle will play in that particular game. Now, there's no import restriction in any pre-season games. What do you make of it?
That's how it plays out. Gives them a sniff. Gives them a sniff. They were the team that and we'll talk about this further when we talk about NBL, NBA games. But that was the team I was worried about. We spoke about a little while ago when these games were announced. You're an NBL team, you play against an NBA team. We've seen you need to have a guy on the perimeter who can make his own play, who can get buckets and can operate late in the shot clock. The teams that have gone close have had that guy. And I looked at Adelaide last season against Utah, 8-point game at three-quarter time. Nathan Sobey was doing that, 25 points on the night. They didn't have that guy on this roster prior to about 1 hour ago.
Not officially yet either, as well. It must be added.
If that's how it plays out, they have got Taylor and Randle to play the one. It gives them a sniff against the Jazz.
Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Got to say, he's also not the first import to be released. We're not even into this season yet. Chris Beckborough, of course, of the New Zealand Breakers. Knee soreness, was limited at the Blitz. They put out a press release, said they're going to work with him, said he's still going to be here, and then 48 hours later, they have replaced him with Brandon Ashley, a man that you might have seen Sacramento Kings, G League, Las Vegas Summer League as well. When Liam and I were over there, as we look at some of his highlights, he's a guy from the University of Arizona who was extremely impressive in his freshman year in particular before breaking his foot. But he's long, he's rangy, he loves to run, but he likes to shoot the three ball as well, Homicide. Talk a little about him.
Yeah, definitely a nice skill set, plays good defense, can stretch the floor by shooting the three ball. Good passer, solid on defense. I think he's a good look just off the fact that he's a stretch 5. So he's going to give centers a lot of problems if they don't like stepping out, playing defense on the perimeter.
He's an interesting pickup, super talented, as we know and can see here. 5-star recruit out of high school, and you mentioned, he's played at Arizona and the like. 6'9", 7'3" wingspan. Hasn't really, went undrafted, hasn't been able to crack his way into the league, and also hasn't really been able to establish himself as an international pro. G League All-Star, has done some good things over there, but it was interesting reading Dan Shamir's comments upon the signing where he said, I've been watching him for a while, I've been following him. I think he's ready to become a good international player. Now, the question mark over him, over the journey from my research in the last few days in particular, has been his physical toughness. Right? If you're going to sign him to come over to Europe and play, or Australia to play the 4 or the 5, You need to be ready to bang and hold your own inside. And that's been the question mark. We'll see how it plays out. But you're right, it is interesting that he can definitely play the 4. Finn Delaney hasn't been lighting things up in pre-season. I think they like what they have found that they've got in Ater Majuk, who has been impressive. So you've got Lowe who can play the 5, Majuk who can play the 5. Just adds another versatile piece in their front line. And also, it gives them a guy in their roster that they need going over to play against Oklahoma City and Memphis.
2 NBA games before they get into the NBL year. Who starts, Finn Delaney or Ashley at the 4?
Gotta go Finn.
I think they'll start Delaney at the 4, Ashley at the 5, and then the pieces can move around from there. Got to start the diesel.
No, hey, we've been on the diesel since he was nice to us in Vegas at Summer League, and I agree. But you're right. I think he's more of a 4 than a 5, Ashley, and we'll see how it goes. Now, NBA v NBL starts, and we'll see, obviously, Adelaide don't play in week 1, neither do New Zealand Breakers, but Melbourne United most definitely do. And this is a rough start. Not only did they have a throwdown, which is going to be against their arch rival in the opening game, they then go, which the NBL, I'm so thankful they did, Saturday night in Perth as the championship banner gets unfurled. But outside that, have a look at this start. The Clippers, Sacramento, then the Wildcats again. This is a team that many, us included, expect to have a really good year. How much is this going to hurt them, all this travel and playing the Wildcats twice to kickstart the year?
You making excuses for Melbourne United already? Season hasn't even started.
I'm not making excuses. I'm simply saying this is not an easy travel schedule. Mate, you and I went to Vegas together. You were jet lagged for 4 days. So imagine having to play basketball as well. Are you worried about this?
I'm not worried about it at all.
At all?
They have a chance in round 1 to go 2-0, if you ask me. So if they handle their business round 1, doesn't even matter NBL, NBA. Obviously, they're trying to go over there to get a win. But handle your business round 1 gives you a little bit more leverage round 3 if you take a loss.
They have a bit of experience doing this. Their
True.
championship year 2 years ago, they played in Adelaide, then went overseas, played against OKC, and then came back. I like the teams, the coaches, the CEOs that have put their hand up and said, yeah, we'll go. If we get a chance to play these NBA teams, we'll go. Because it's an incredible experience, and we love it from an NBL perspective. Also, it's happened 2 years, right? Last 2 championship teams in the NBL have done that at the start of their year. They've gone over and played it. So I think, like you say, especially if you can go 2-0 to begin, then you're playing with house money from then on. But the Breakers are another team that have a tough schedule. They go over, play 2 games over there, and they come back 4 straight doubles. Only one of those is home, coming from across the ditch. So they've got a heavy schedule as
Your
well.
rookie point guard going to be able to handle that?
Yes, he will. He got the freshest legs.
Okay.
He's, 18 years old? He don't have no problem with that.
Hey, just a quick one. Media release.
Come on,
during the course of the
man.
week. No, hang
What?
on.
What?
No,
What's
I didn't say no. Obviously, we're all involved. We're all involved in the commentary. But last week you suggested you were about to leave us to be the GM of the new Hobart franchise. I'm just making sure you get through the whole
No, I'm
year.
still here.
Still
I'm still here.
I don't want to lose you halfway through, my man. All right.
This year's too important. This year's too important.
Hey, must-watch TV. It's going to be Illawarra Hawks, of course. LaMelo Ball, which is another one of Homicide's young men,
Young guns.
whatever you want to call them, and of course Josh Boone, Aaron Brooks, of course, who Homicide about a month ago said is the most credentialed player ever to be here.
Ever to be in the NBL.
Okay, before we get to Brooks, 1 of 10 for LaMelo Ball in their loss to Sydney on Sunday. What'd you make of it, Liam?
I thought he was kind of forcing it a little bit. In the early going, didn't really let the game come to him. Chatting with head coach Matt Flynn today, he sort of agreed. He said that they've had some chats. This was him getting out. That was the only bucket he had for the game. 1 for 10, as you say, from the field. And couldn't find the range. And he just needs to let the game come to him. They've had some chats to say, let's get everyone a touch in those first few minutes. Get the ball moving, work your way into it, and then go from there. And you can imagine, these are good growing pains for him. You know, he puts up that massive stat line down in Tassie, rises to the projected number 3 pick in the draft, all of a sudden feels the pressure. Hey, I've got to have a near triple-double every game. That's the bar I've set for myself. And the support system up there is telling him, no, mate, that's not the way to approach it. Just ball, do your thing, but in the first couple of minutes of the game, just work your way into it.
Aaron Brooks has had a very impressive career. We've spoken at length about it. And a really good blitz as well. And even that game where he got ejected halfway through the third quarter, still had the 15 points. Do you expect him to continue to come off the bench?
No. probably early in the first half of the season.
Why?
I mean, I think he might be better with the second unit.
Okay.
Offensively, you have a scoring punch coming off the bench. You know he is a valid scorer. And it gives the first unit opportunity to get more touches, Melo Ball to get more involved offensively as well.
But does it protect LaMelo a little bit if they play, maybe not off the, but do you expect them to play a lot of ball together to protect LaMelo? Not protect him, but to ease that burden a little bit on him?
Yeah, I think in the fourth quarter we'll see that backcourt combination a lot.
Remember that argument we had about who will start point guard for the Illawarra Hawks, and I was adamant.
There was no argument.
Guess who started on their first preseason game?
Oh, okay. First preseason game. There you go.
Well,
You're going to hang your hat on that?
Well, I'm saying I like the way they handled it. They made no promises. They said, hey, here's the guy that's here. Come in, let's see how it goes. They rolled him out at the start of preseason. LaMelo was
This
LaMelo.
is why, do you really believe that narrative story?
I'm telling you, mate, that's how it is. That's what they've done.
So you're
That
telling me
opportunity was there.
Okay.
Had Emmett rocked out, it would have been his spot.
Yeah.
And then Melo did what he did.
I'm sceptical.
On the Aaron Brooks thing, though,
Yes, please.
What I'm told is a lot of that has come from him. Said, hey, look, I don't want to just come in here to this team and just, it's all about me, and let me come off the bench to begin with, work my way into this league, get a feel for it, establish myself within the team, and go from there. And you know what else they like? And I like this too. Remember we said Aaron Brooks needs to come in and play the Bryce Cotton role for the Illawarra Hawks. He needs to play like... I think he works quite well with Emmett Nah. And offensively, that looks a lot like Damian Martin and Bryce Cotton, what they do at the Wildcats. Not so much down the other end, but... for the time being, I think it looks good and it works well. And it certainly opens up an amazing opportunity for someone like Angus Glover, Sunday Deck, an opportunity to, say, grasp that starting two spot.
We touched wood here on Angus Glover, who's had a horrendous run of injuries, but he's underrated because we haven't been able to see enough of him. But this guy is talented, so I'm not suggesting that Aaron Brooks should just shuffle him off to the side. And I like the idea of the second unit, as we did see in that game against Melbourne United before Aaron Brooks got ejected. But the fact is, this is a guy, as you have pointed out, and he has played a lot of time off the bench in the NBA, so he might feel more relaxed that way. But he is a guy who's extremely talented, and very rarely do you see someone that talented with a youngish group come off off the bench and part of second string.
I mean, he's a veteran and he knows that he can get his whenever he wants to. He can get a bucket whenever he wants to. So he has no problem coming off the bench. He has nothing to prove.
No, I agree. You know who else can get a bucket almost whenever he wants right now? A man who, when I was in Vegas and seen him for the first time, proclaimed he'd be in the All-NBL first team. And then over a beer, Liam Santamaria talked me down. But I'm back up there. I talk of
that kid is the truth.
Man.
That kid is
our man.
That kid. That kid is the truth. He is the truth. First team?
Second team. Look at this. I got first team. Look at this. That's a welcome himself to the blitz.
Yeah, Didi's no joke, man. I mean, however you want it, he's going to give it to you. We know from the perimeter, that's cash money. He can put the ball on the deck. He can create for others as well as himself. And he's selfless. He's just getting it just as it comes. He's just getting the buckets as they come. He's not like, give me the ball, I need the ball. He's just getting it as the game progresses.
The best word you used just then was selfless. That describes his game. So I love the way Didi goes about playing the game, and they love him up there in Sydney. His veteran teammates Bogut and Ware and Kickett and Newley.
Oh, well, he can't backtrack.
He doesn't even know what they're saying.
Once he learns English.
But, oh, my God. He's 20. Look at the way he plays the game. And the work he does off the floor, defensively, pick and roll, he's on the weak side, switch onto the big.
Oh, my goodness.
He smashes them on the block out, lays a big hit, works hard off the ball, chasing guys off screens. He's a coach's and a teammate's dream. And he could legitimately, if it wasn't for the English, his English speaking and New Orleans' depth at shooting guard, he would be playing in the NBA this season. And it's just a blessing that we get to have him on our shores this year.
And hopefully, and for a number of reasons, that injuries don't strike the Pelicans, because for Will Weaver and the Sydney Kings and us NBL fans who want to see him all year and see what damage he can do, and, of course, touch wood, make the All-NBL first team.
This is not wood.
Yeah, but neither is this, but people still do that, Homicide. I can tell you, that's the only thing that can stop him having a major impact if the Pelicans call him up early, and I hope it doesn't happen for everyone involved.
I'm going to do you one even better.
Oh.
If Didi is here, the Kings winning the championship.
Oh.
If he leaves, the Kings ain't winning the chip.
God, we've been trying to tell you this.
We came back from Vegas, and you didn't want to bar of it, and then we're in the blitz. And after Didi hits his 8th throw, he just puts down his microphone and leaves. I was like, I'm out. We had to sit by himself.
spent about 4 episodes here with you telling us, what did they do last year? What did they do in the finals last year?
I didn't see Didi then. Now I saw him. Didi's that deal, man. I'm with you.
I want you to talk about, hopefully, the Pelicans and injuries. Mm-hmm. Let's everyone chill about the potential of guys getting called up or things. This is a good problem to have.
I know.
We have this talk is here because we have potential top 5 picks. Because we have a guy that is an NBA caliber guy. This is James Ennis all over again. Let's lock, load, enjoy it. Trajan Langdon, the GM of the New Orleans Pelicans, has a great relationship with Will Weaver. Worked with him at the Nets. Loves the situation that Didi is in this year. And it's not going to make a lot, even if they have a couple of injuries, it's not going to make a lot of sense for them to call him up midway through this year. It goes against a whole bunch of, in terms of the CBAs and salaries, rookie contracts, and what they are trying to get out of stashing him here this year. It's not going to make sense. It might happen. I don't think it will. Let's do it.
Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. I know you're excited. We'll talk a little more about it in a moment, but we got to get to NBL v NBA because I'll be honest. Liam said, hey, when I go to NBL NBA camp, we're going together. I wore this polo because we wear matching polos in Vegas at Summer League. And you know what? Tomorrow,
this did happen.
International departures. Liam Santa Maria, 0. Cam Luke. So NBL, NBA, made 5 games, of course. The Adelaide 36ers, Utah. New Zealand for 2. We already seen Melbourne with a couple of games as well. We've already heard from Liam, actually, who believes the best chance of an upset is. What do you reckon the best chance of an NBL team winning? Yeah, you told...
I said Adelaide are back in the game.
Oh, my apologies. We're going to start with Corey anyway. What do you reckon the best chance for NBL is?
OKC. Breakers OKC. Melbourne United, Sacramento Kings.
Oh. I actually give them all a shot. The Breakers, on any given night, if they just light up from long range, Hobson, Webster, Henry, they can be anything. I think Melbourne against the Clippers. Hold on.
Oh, you drunk. What's it? You drinking gin?
Now, you know what? You know what? I like to agree with Homicide, but you
drunk. He's drunk.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you, man.
Kawhi Leonard, Paul George.
All we ask.
And Patrick Beverly, they got a chance?
All we ask is you come to work sober.
Listen, man.
That's all we ask.
Hold on, boys.
Corey. Go on, I know what you're going to say. And I kind of...
Paul George, are you kidding me?
George and
Paul
Clyde
George is not playing.
George
has a shoulder injury he's still recovering from. He's not going to play in the preseason.
You drunk.
Cross. No PG. Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi load management Leonard.
I agree.
They're playing an NBL team. Let's put our NBA hats on in the preseason amongst their other preseason games. There is a very good chance he doesn't play. Did not play against Melbourne United for Toronto in preseason last year.
Yeah, a lot of the Toronto guys didn't play and they smacked them by 40.
Okay.
Because it was a second game.
Exactly. They lost by how much?
If they're playing the Clippers first, have you got the just out
Yeah,
the back?
They're playing Clippers first.
Okay, that gives them an opportunity then.
Well, now they have an opportunity because they're playing them first.
They won't. Well, that's what happened last year, is that the travel sucked the life out of them going to Toronto because they played Philly first.
Let me tell you this. This Melbourne United team.
You drunk?
Melo Trimble, Mitch McCarron, Chris Golding, Casey Prather, Sean Long. They've got an NBA level size big. They've got NBA level perimeter scorers. They've got an NBA level wing. You played that team against the Clippers with no Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
They are in with a shot.
6th man of the year, 3 or 4 times 6th man of the year, Lou Williams. Slots in easy. Have a seat, Paul George. Keep going.
Actually, that matchup with Chris Golding...
Be fun.
Very fun.
I think that it's, in fact, New Zealand and Memphis. I think you're right. If New Zealand get going...
Very fun.
Memphis. Huh?
Yo, they losing. Let's keep it above. What do we do here?
I'm not saying they're winning. He
You
asked
said they
me
got
which
the best
team
chances.
has the best
Yeah.
chance.
I am surprised that you suggested that was the game with the best chance, but I
tell
also
you, that's
see
that
your
gin in
theory a
there.
little bit. I know. All we ask is he comes to work. So no wonder you wanted me to drive today. All
I
right.
sat here on this desk. Hold on. I sat here on this desk. And I told you the Boomers are going to beat the US in one of those two games. You fellas laughed
Hang
up
on a
a
second.
storm.
No, you said the first game.
Laughed up a storm.
LaMelo Ball wants to go double or nothing on the Clippers.
No, I said for weeks they're going to win one of those
You
games.
said that the Boomers would beat the USA when James Harden was in the team.
They brought whoever they brought. I said they'd win.
Round one of the NBL is only 48 hours away. It starts with a throwdown. Hashtag NBL Overtime. Hashtag NBL 20. What are you most looking forward to as we head towards round one? I'm going to start with you, Liam Santamaria.
The throwdown. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, their first ever game. My man Tommy Greer rolling his squad out. Mitch Creek back in the league. That's the big one for me.
For me, I'm looking forward to LaMelo Ball against the Brisbane Bullets. You know, obviously he started off the best he could. His stock went from 23 to 3 after the blitz, right? Then you got your behind whooped by the Sydney Kings. So reality came back in like, all right, maybe I thought this was going to be easier, and it isn't. I scored 1 bucket. So now it's let me show these people again that I am who I am. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup against Nathan Sobey.
I'm looking
what
forward
I'm
to seeing
looking forward
Cairns
to.
and Sydney. In Cairns, I think Sydney are title favourites, not just because of Dita Lozada, but also Casper Ware's there. Andrew Bogut's in fine form. I think it's I'm not saying they'll definitely win it, but they're my tip right now. But Cairns at home, with that unique sort of fun roster they put together, I spoke about it last week. Nate Jaiwai, we couldn't have been any more impressed. Why is he in that shape?
It ain't a cupcake league.
And
no more
he-
cupcakes. He stopped eating cupcakes.
There you go. And they've got to win. I think for Cairns, 14 home games. They win 8 home games, gives them some confidence, gives them momentum to maybe win 11, 12 games on the year, which I think could be great. Quatnoy, who we both like. DJ Newell looks a lot fitter than he did last year when he had the shoulder injury. Scotty Machado's going to... We all believe he'll lead the league in assists. So Friday night, Kings on the road is probably the championship favourites against Cairns team, which traditionally, I think last year was the first home opener they've lost since like 1907. Yep. So to be able to get an opportunity, Friday night standalone game, can't wait for it.
I love how, I feel like the throwdown, Southeast Melbourne first game, LaMelo Ball makes sense. There's one game there that we didn't... It's the grand final rematch.
Yeah, I know.
They're unfurling the championship banner against the team they beat. The Red Army's looking at you, Cam, saying you're interested in the Taipans.
No, I already went on for about 3 minutes when this got announced to you, the Red Army. I said, this is exciting for you because you weren't there
Red Army
when they won the championship. And there's no... Governing bodies around the world should have the home team that win a championship open the year, if not first game. They shouldn't be travelling and all the rest of it. They should play at home, unfurl the banner in front of the team that they beat. I think there'll be a blue in the first 5 minutes, and I can't wait for it.
Did you speak that game into existence?
I think you did.
I did. You know what I haven't...
Have you been given credit for that?
No, I haven't. But you know what I haven't spoken to existence just yet? My wild card finals. That didn't seem to come through yet. But the NBL, I reckon they might tinker it in the middle of the year. All right, yes or no style. Hashtag NBL Overtime. Hashtag NBL 20 to tell us what you are looking forward to for week 1. All right, I'm going to start with you. Deshaun Taylor, of course, looks like he's going to be released. Will he be the last import sack for the season?
No.
Can Cairns make the playoffs?
No.
Just back to you. Will that be Keith Benson who will be sacked?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Hey, would an NCAA team... No, it was another one. Would an NCAA team win the NBL?
No.
No?
No way.
Okay. I agree. I'm just wondering what you thought. At some point this year, will Kendall Stevens start over Ben Madgen?
At some point.
No.
Yes or no, Liam?
No.
Would LaMelo Ball beat RJ Hampton in a game of one-on-one?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes or no? No.
I don't know.
Yes or no?
Pass.
Oh, you're...
I don't know.
I don't
New
listen to
Zealand-
his yes or no questions.
Will New Zealand Director of Coaching, Dan Shamir, be the first coach or Director of Coaching to be receiving a tech foul this year?
No.
Okay.
Joey Wright, of course.
Okay. Hashtag NBL Overtime, hashtag NBL 20 to get involved. Enjoy the States.
Thank you.
Enjoy the States.
At NBL to keep track of how Liam is going. Hey, for you and me, we'll be at the throwdown.
We'll be here, baby.
Everyone else, enjoy week 1 of the NBL. This has been NBL Overtime.